Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stunner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you. It's really not necessary. Thank you, but no. I want you all to stop what you're doing and applaud J.C. Marks for an unbelievable sellout crowd for NCW's return to Dedham, Massachusetts for the Big City Rumble. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, alongside
with the Sable here
with a very special VSW episode. We are covering NCW's
Big City Rumble.
And this was a very special Big City Rumble indeed, with Vern Vicalo, the former champion, out of commission due to injury. The title was vacant, just like in 92, when WWF's title was vacant, and there was the winner of the Rumble would be the world champion.
Just like 5 years ago when Roman defended his title at
I'm talking about a good Rumble. None of this 5 years ago crowd. I'm talking about in 92, Wolf, before you was even born. Do you understand?
Was born.
So, like I said, it had that feeling going into it. Whoever won this, and it could have been anybody, because anything can happen in a Rumble. Anything. The winner was going to walk out with the strap. And we had such build-up to it with special matches previous in episodes behind closed doors and other pay-per-views, where you had PRG versus Channing Thomas for number 1 and number 30 spot. Channing Thomas took the victory home and got number 30. And BRG, well, he was number one. Just like some other unlucky people. But unlucky people have won the Rumble at number 1 and number 2. Let's not forget.
That so well, Versace.
Let's not forget that. But anyways, would BRG pull off a back-to-back victory?
Technically, that was Curry Boy.
No. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, would he pull it off? I don't know. We will have to wait and find out, because there was a whole bunch of other matches.
A whole bunch of surprises and partnerships.
And all sorts of fun that took place on NCW's Big City Rumble.
All right, we're going to start off with the opening contest to kickoff.
It was scheduled for one fall.
One fall!
But, let's, be honest with it.
Riot Kellen Thomas taking on one half of Higher Society, Amane Chaos.
You did. You had the Karoba versus the K-Tastic. And you know what? You have the future versus, I won't say the past, but the veteran. Ryan Kellen Thomas is a veteran in this game, is a NCW original veteran.
Original high flyer, too.
He is one of the best, and he's taking on somebody new that is really taking the game by storm. You know how I feel about people like him, Becca, and Love Doug. They're all from that kind of same class out of New England Pro, and I think they've all, really have shined.
Amane Chaos is really good with his theatrics.
I like, to be honest, his wardrobe. I'm all about the drip and the swag that he possesses. He's always the best dressed in the room.
In New England, no, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, easily. I haven't seen people dress up good like him since like The Godfather came out, and even then, they still didn't really touch what Amane brings to the game. But after, like I said, these two people, it was a great opening contest. And like, JC Mark said in his opening comments, he wanted the Riot, Kellen Thomas, to open it because,
they're very good friends in real life.
Very good jet friends. He's an NCW original, and like I said, it was good. And in the end, it was great for him because it was Riot, Kellen Thomas, who took the victory.
And the crowd went nuts. It was the right call, having a beloved veteran win the opening contest to fire the crowd up for a fiery month ahead.
Exactly. It was incredible.
Now you ready to move on for some?
I am.
You got the following contest was an NCW Women's Championship Gauntlet match scheduled for one fall or maybe 5 falls to face the leader of the Scrunchy Squad, Becca, for a future shot. Whether it's a month, a day, a minute.
Whenever it is, but they were getting a number 1 contender shot. As you know, Becca is the first champion. She well deserved it. Scrunchy Squad rules the NCW's women's division.
That's where it all started.
And, they just run this shit. And it was the Suplex Sweetheart, Isana, versus Jesse Nolan versus Paris Van Dale, the other half, versus Sarah Teller versus MLK. This...
She's a little mean per se.
Yeah, but they have a history. Little Mean Kathleen and Becker. As you remember, Little Mean Kathleen stole the title as soon as she won and tried to claim it as her own.
And she was pretending to use the leader of the Scrunchy Squad's friendship to get the title without her, no one behind her back.
It was amazing, though. All these women are very well deserving of a title shot. I'm a big fan of Jessie Nolan. She is killing it out of, I want to say, what is it, the dojo she fights out of?
Yeah, she helps take care of Alexander Lee's puppet for him.
She does, but she's a spitfire, and she is wild.
It started off with Isana and Jessie Nolan.
It did, and those two really gave it a good fight, and I really like the chemistry of those two. I'd love to see a singles competition between the two.
And you got Jessie Nolan. She's a rookie, but she keeps getting better and better every time I watch her, whether it's on the road.
Oh, yeah, and you got to check out the merch, bro. I got one of those bomb stickers with the little flames. Unbelievable. You can hit her up right, through her Twitter or something. I think it's like a couple of bucks, $5. I don't know what it is with shipping, but she'll send it right back to you. She'll send it right to you by mail, and you get it in a couple of days. It's pretty cool stuff. But in the end, out of all of these fine, talented women, it was Little Mean Kathleen taking the victory. And, Becca was very impatient, and she
said she didn't want to wait. She wanted to be
She probably won't even be there the next time, and she just wanted to get it done with right now. As she was sitting ringside the whole time watching this gauntlet match, she went into the ring and had the bell rang, and these two went at it.
A Little Mean Kathleen didn't look like she competed against a few other people right before then.
No, she was still full of energy and still off the high of that victory. And that's something, that's just great about her. She has this, I don't even know what to call it, this crazy amount of energy. And it was insane.
It's like a little kid who eats too much ice cream and candy and has a hyper sugar rush, eh?
Oh, yeah. For sure. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of both of these women. Little Mean Kathleen was, one of the original members of the Scrunchy Squad as well when that all started at the Ballroom Blitz. Things have kind of parted ways with her and so forth and so on. But,
they exchanged a lot of submission moves.
They did, and they're great competitors, but it was Becca with the victory to retain that title.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Becca's the best in NCW. She's the women's champion. There is nobody else out there right now that can step to her.
Maybe they got another show or two to establish that.
Yeah, but I mean, who are they gonna call? She has beaten everybody at least once, I believe. And if not, she's beating the people that could beat the people, which means she doesn't have to face them. That's what's beautiful about the champion. You don't have to face the number one contender. You don't have to face the whole roster. Let the other people fight all the lower level people, and you just fight the number one. Speaking of number ones, and speaking of number ones and last chances and things, we had a very special last chance match between Randy Rivera, this new up and coming, and yes, go for it.
Okay, and he is here in
and the winner of this match would be an entrant and get an entry into the Big City Rumble.
That was very big. Both these guys, amazing newcomers.
They are, and Randy Rivera is killing the scene right now in NCW. I've watched him a few times on Behind Closed Doors, and he's really just giving it up, and he's new there, and me being an NCW fan, I always love seeing new faces, and he's one of them, and he's just very exciting to watch. And of course, you got Love Doug. I can't say nothing. He made it rain rose petals on me. That was amazing.
On the VSW, I felt so moved.
You were blessed. You were blessed by Love Doug. I mean, he just was like pow, and all of a sudden, the roses were everywhere, and it was great. He is always a pleasure to watch wrestle. You know that. I'll go all the way to Maine. I changed our damn plans to Sable from MV Young's Polyam Woodstock to the Vacation Land Cup because they announced Love Dog. I was literally like, okay, forget New York, we're going to Maine. I'm not even going front row to say, well, I'm going to go so early to try to get second row seats to watch Love Dog's match.
It's going to be a historic day. It's going to be like the Detroit Lions fans getting to see their team compete for the Super
but you don't know. You know how. You've driven with me now to Williamstown. You've driven with me out of state
to Kansas.
I will go without stopping, and I will go so early. I'll go at 6 in the morning. I'll have breakfast there in Yarmouth. Right there, we'll go to that chicken place all day long until I can get in line. And as soon as I do, I don't care. I will be in that second row for Vacation Land Cup. That's just how it will be. Because I want to see Love Doug. But Love Doug and Randy Rivera gave a great matchup until they were rudely interrupted by some of Love Doug's special friends from the unit. That's right, the unit.
Hun.
The pro wrestling savior, JT Dunn.
How ironic, Friday night, August 20th, we had not just one, but two saviors coming back.
There was two saviors returning. One to NCW, which was him, and then one to AEW.
God, I don't think I can guess that for Sachi.
Nope, but I'm sure they were all checking it out. And Trigger OG, he's one of the other members with AC Romero, and these two just came in and started to mess around.
I was really shocked that JT Dunn came back to where he started.
I was shocked to see JT Dunn in the Big City Rumble.
Some people even thought that it'd be AG that would be coming back.
You never know what can happen in the Big City Rumble, but it was insane. And it was, though, like I said, it turned into...
And John Casey came right in.
Oh, yeah, JC Marks came right out, and he was like, you know what, this will now be a 2-on-2 match.
Challenging his inner Teddy, and he expanded the Big City Rumble by 4 entrants.
He did. He let everybody in it. He gave it to them all. So they were all in it, and at the end of the day, though, well, you tell him to say, Wolf.
The end of the day, it's Luke. He's in love with my shoes for Sachi. He wrote a letter to not me, but my shoes. I praise this guy.
He wrote you a letter about shoes?
Yeah, he's in love with my lightning shoes.
That's pretty awesome.
He loves everybody.
He really does. He's a great guy.
People need to give him a chance.
They should. They should give him a great chance.
As you know me, Versace, I have a thing for the clowns in wrestling that isn't Doink.
You know, though, but I mean, like I said, these guys gave it them all. But at the end, it was JT Dunn and Trigger OG taking the victory away from Love Dog and Rivera. But, like you said, there was 4 people included into that Big City Rumble. So it will not be the last of the time that we see of these guys.
Not at all, Versace. Not at all.
And then, you know, we got to see another great matchup. Okay?
Originally was supposed to be a Mike Montero.
Well, it was a Mike Montero Open Challenge. But, I mean, let's face it. People need to earn this spot. They need to really earn this spot. And that's what he made them do. All these people started coming out when he announced it. I mean, not just like one person.
Dojo legend trainer Alexander Lee and the Puppet.
Yeah, the Alexander Lee coming
got
up.
My man Doc Ozone and Foxy Calvin Campbell coming out.
And you had the monster truck of a man, Perry Von Vicious. Now, this is the first time I've seen him in a very long time. I was so happy to see him. Let me just say, he has made great gains. He is a powerhouse monster.
And he got even better since I last saw him a few years ago.
And even in that, okay, I think he gained some height. I don't know how, but he did. Okay, you had these 3 showing up, right? But then you had other people showing up. Dallas McCarthy came with his goon squads of Gillen Nix.
Oh, Lord Tensire, man.
Nick Diamond and Steven Lust.
Without P-Dac, how can I root for him?
You know, so, like Mike said, this seems like it's a you problem, not a me problem. So, he called it a 3-on-3 matchup.
With him, Ricky Medeiros.
And the winner of it will, whoever gets the pinfall will get a future title shot. These guys fought hard. They fought fast. It was a great matchup.
And it was the one Perry Wrecking Crew coming up with the victory in this immediate trios match. They all had their game. They were flying on top outside of the ring. There was Steven Lust trying to carry power bombs. There was a lot of fun, fast-paced craziness in this match.
But, like you said, it will be Perry Von Vicious getting a title shot against...
This is a brand new
Mike Montero.
Physical gainer, Perry Von Vicious.
It is. It is. Now, speaking of a very physical matchup, our next match was with an OG in the game.
Lumberjake.
Lumberjake versus...
Lumberjake versus Tim Lennox, who was crazy Versace.
This is a hardcore match. It was a great match. I'm a big Lennox fan. He's pretty good, you know. He actually reminded me of my boy TJ Tucker a little bit in the way he dresses in the gear and the hardcore style.
I don't think he's a juggalo, though.
Never know. Most wrestling fans are, believe it or not. Most wrestlers are, too. Next year, we're going to send you to the gathering of the Juggalos.
They had it the other night in Ohio.
I know, and you're going to send you next year to Ohio, Disabled Wolf. You're going to get to know these people. Time you get out of your little shell, okay? And get out of that New England bubble. I'm going to bring you all across. You know, we saw Kansas. We saw Canada. We're going to go see Chicago. After that, it's going to be the West Coast, brother. We're going to probably check out L.A., going back down to Kansas next year also.
And to H2O and see Chase Gold.
I know, you're dying to see Chase Gold. And, you know,
and Sydney Bacabella.
Yeah, okay, now, stay on topic, Wolf. Stay on topic.
Versace.
Hardcore match. Lumberjake, Lennox. Okay, these guys beat the freaking piss out of each other
They
using
even
all
had
sorts
a
of
good product
weapons.
placement with Legos.
They had Legos, which my kid loves to throw me on. They beat each other with bats. They did the old Duke-a-roo where they sat each other down in chairs.
And Lumberjake was accompanied by his dumpster.
He was.
He had a little female coming out on top of the dumpster to throw things at Lennox.
He did. And, at the end of the day, though,
Lumberjake and his choke
Lumberjake with the choke slam
tables.
onto the chairs. Chairs to say, well, those were chairs. The metal chairs, not tables. I know you don't know this. He went right through a bunch of shit, and I think he might have killed Lennox a little bit. But it was Lumberjake taking the victory. It was a really great, hardcore
that
match.
Wasn't all for Big Lumberjake.
No, it wasn't, as we will see what happens in this big city rumble. I mean, anything can. And then, there's still more matches to say. Well, like I said, I felt like it was just, this thing just kept going, okay? Just kept going and going and going. You had a tag team championship match for the NCW Tag Team Champions. You had the big boys, who are the current champions, Chaz Cashew.
Matthew McConaughey, all right.
And the Smoke Show, Ricky Smokes.
I got to see Sammy Guevara
versus the Little Giant.
Bullet Joe. And
Robbie the Giant and Bullet Joe. And, like I said, we were talking about how, in our other episode, how you see people in different light and different promotions.
A team in the other show.
When we did our proving ground and we talked about it, we talked about how, yes, Robbie the Giant is kind of the same, but Bullet Joe isn't really liked.
But I loved all four of these guys. I loved this tag team match. They were funny. They were all crazy. And they all had great spots. And they wore fancy gear, too. Cashew and Smokes. They are the big boys. They don't wear diapers no more. Versace.
No, but I am kind of heated. Ricky Smokes freaking touched my Gucci shoes. He was all sweaty. He devalued it. They went from like $500 to $450. I'm kind of upset about it. And I don't
He's half a pretty boy, half a jock.
But you know what? He put on a hell of a show. And you know what? I've actually became a fan of the big boys. I actually really am. And you got those two with, they are teamed up with BRG. He is another one of my favorite superstars in NCW. So yes, at the end of the day, my loyalty is with the big boys.
The Little Giants are little veterans of it.
Oh, they are great, and they're former champions. They have it all, but it was the big boys who retained the titles.
Their hyper is so amazing. They must have so much sugar before their matches. Like when they've had all those tricks away from the city rabbit. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure I do. And, that, like I said, it was a great tag team title
big
match.
Potential in Chaz Cashew and Ricky Smokes. These guys can main event any promotion in New England within a year.
And then that brought us to our main event of the evening. Okay, this was insane. You had... you had the number one contender. Probably the number one contender. But you had number one draw, PRG. Number 30, Shannon Thomas. But, you had a bunch of people. You had the big boys returning in there. Alexander Lee, the Ryan Kellen Thomas, Lumberjake, the Little Giants, Foxy, Kevin Campbell, Perry Von Vision's back in there, Ricky Medeiros, Mike Montero. He was going to be Mikey Two Belts. Cold Hard Castro. You had Armani Chaos back in there.
Cold Hard Castro tried to
the League of Excellence.
Shirts
you had your
$100.
He did. You had your friend Dr. Heresy. You had JT Dunn in there.
He
Trigger
wore two masks in
OG.
there.
You had also you had some other great. Love Doug was in there. You had Chaotic in there. Other Chaotic
Randy
in
Rivera
there.
was in there.
Randy Rivera. You had all sorts of great people in this matchup. It was great. BIG lasting a very long time.
And you got Frank the Crank trying to sell a house while in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Frank the Crank was in there. I mean, we had big names, and it just got bigger and bigger. B.I.G. hung on for quite a bit, but he did get eliminated.
When Lumberjack threw him over.
But,
you had Stephen Lust, who got eliminated.
Stephen Lust couldn't even get into the ring. Let me just tell you, as soon as he got in, I mean, let's face it.
He's having PDAC.
Let's face it, this was kind of like the Lesnar Rumble for a minute. B.I.G. dominated for a long time in the beginning. Okay, he was throwing everybody out as they came in, and what's his name didn't even make it into the ring.
Stephen Lust.
Nope, he kept knocking him, and everybody kept knocking him. By the time he got into the ring, it was halfway over. You had all sorts of crazy shit happen, okay? You had, Shay Cash coming to sit behind us. Shady there, sitting behind us there. Not Shay, the other one. Sitting behind us, hanging out. You had, your friend Castro hiding under the ring. Like Doink the Clown or like the Repo Man or something. You had these people doing all sorts of stuff to try to hang on. I kept seeing BRG hanging around. I kept seeing other wrestlers hanging around outside just waiting. It was a very interesting matchup. Everybody had their strategy, but you know what? I got to see a very good matchup with JT Dunn and Mike Montero, and they freaking killed it. These two going at it was the highlight of my evening. They were in there in the Big City Rumble, and they were fighting, and their styles just matched up. I want to see more of those two go.
I need to see JT Dunn and NCW more often. He's too busy invading the whole New England scene.
And, yeah, exactly. And, TJ, that's what I'm saying. He's been everywhere right now, doing everything. We've seen him all over the place. We saw him enter even in that New England All-Star show when he attacked Ted Goods. And, he went on to win the title later on down the line. And, he's winning championships. We see him in Maine show up. We see him at Limitless show up.
He's running his own stable now.
The unit is alive and well. You should take the pledge. And he was in there. He was in there, and he was one of my picks to win this thing. They all were. All these guys, Mike, him.
Shannon Thomas
was one of my greatest picks. And number 30 came out, and we realized, B.I.G. got to Channing. He beat him up before he could even get up there.
He thought he was back in WCW 20 years ago, but it was just SummerSlam.
He beat him up so badly, and it was him that it was B.I.G. that came out as number 30 again, and he still couldn't get the job done. He still couldn't do it. It was him. You had people. You had him, Lumberjack, JT Dunn, I think, in there.
But you had
Love Doug came out of nowhere, throwing the pedals in JT Dunn's face, allowing him to get eliminated.
JT, hun.
And he got eliminated because of it.
Love Doug's got to learn to stay out of people's... I know he wants to make friends.
No, he owed him one. He owed him one in that one, I think, And at the end of the day, he did what he wanted to... He did what he had to do, and that's what he did. He owed him one, though. And now I just don't know what the unit's going to do back in retaliation. Retaliation is, mother, you know what.
You had Bullet Joe and Robbie the Giant come and get knocked out by the big boys, just like early in the night.
You had the big boys trying to come out and help BRG as well. But finally, BRG at the end, it was
into them.
It was Lumberjack throwing out everybody.
The NCWOG.
And becoming the new NCW champion of the world. Everybody was on their feet. Everybody was screaming happy. It was Lumberjack era.
We all thought Castro won it first.
I love it. I love it. Because you know why? I love wrestling with the big men of wrestling. You don't got many, and Lumberjack is the best right now out there. He is great. He's got power. He's got speed. He's got everything.
And you don't want to piss him off.
Nope, and he's going to be another fighting, defending champion. It's going to be great. I can't really wait to see what happens. We've already heard that NCW is returning for NCW Face-Off. I can't wait to see what matches are going to be made and what titles are going to be defended and, what's going to happen.
What is this, Hockey Versace Face-Off?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. I can't wait. But
Can't.
thank you, everybody, for listening. I can't wait also when this will be up on air. I'm sure it will be on NCW Unlimited soon. Keep checking it out. Check out NCW tweets on Twitter.
And Facebook.
And, you know, follow them along for all the new details. Get yourself some tickets to Face Off. Check out the shows. I also seen that they're also going back to Bristol. That is great. You know, they have 2 homes, and one in Bristol, Rhode Island, and one in Dedham, Massachusetts. Try to get to many as NCW shows as possible.
But Dedham's our home.
Let's keep selling out the arenas. Let's keep making. I mean, come on. They had to turn fans away. I've never seen it happen.
That's never happened.
As sad as it is for the fans, congratulations again, JC Mox, on an outstanding show. Doing a great job putting it all together as your first show back to a very tough time during the pandemic. You know, managed to, I think, not only keep us captivated through these times with behind closed doors and the pay-per-views, you were also able to grab new talent and new fans as well. I think a lot of people tuned in. I saw a lot of new faces in the crowd, and I was happy to see that. And I was happy to talk to new people that said, yes, we're going to come back to NCW. I love it. So that's what it's all about.
They got potential to rent even bigger arenas.
Like I said, every time you walk into NCW, it's like walking into a family reunion. It is wonderful. But thank you, everybody, for listening. It has been a great night here at VSW. But we are going to get going. Disabled. We have one more stop to go before the night is over. So, everybody, have a great night. Versace Stoner out.
Disabled out.